YouTube?
Let's see.
Okay, so
YouTube.
we're going live.
You know all the cool stuff. I need a Rook. Rook, are you the one who's like, hey, I heard about this new cool thing?
Well, Scott figured something out, and I helped him figure it out.
See, I'm good at the big picture ideas. I'm really bad at the technical implementation.
Got it.
So, all right. Okay, you know what?
We're live.
Streaming.
We're live right now. Hey,
I'm gonna copy this link.
everybody get in your place. We're losing time.
It's just me.
It's all good.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Nobody's gonna be disappointed. How would anybody be disappointed?
Oh, let me count the ways.
All right, I'm gonna post this and then we'll get going. Can you just talk into it and let's see the volume so that way I can kind of just talk.
So,
You know.
yeah, I have a wonderful cup of coffee brewed by the Rook Master. Just don't look inside of it.
Look inside the coffee.
Yeah, there's things, because there's things floating and stuff. It's like,
They're grounds.
Oh, it's coffee grounds.
come on, let me tell my story.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. So I'll pull this up. This is like super unprofessional, but that's how we're rolling. I'm gonna pull this up. I just want to see people out there, people of the internet. Let us know if the volume is too soft or too loud or anything like that. This is the first time that we're doing this.
This is the debut episode?
This is the debut episode.
Oh my God, I'm honored.
Isn't that great? Do you know what I'm calling this? Actually, I can't read comments. Never mind. So, do you know what I'm calling this thing?
What?
I'm calling it Scottcast.
Scottcast.
Like podcast,
Yeah,
Scottcast.
I got
And I got the idea from Casey because Casey does this thing. He calls it the orchestra of people, and every time I hear that name, I just crack up because it's the dumbest name. It's just it's so. What does that even mean? Orchestra of people, I guess, opposed to orchestra of dogs. But it sticks with it, So these little stupid names like Scottcast, that's gonna I think it's gonna stick.
I think it's
don't
gonna
know.
be a hit. Yeah. I'll co-sign on.
So thanks to Casey, and also Casey, if you guys are, if you've checked out the new Postmodern Jukebox video, Casey's in it today, and he kills it. He sounds awesome.
Also, now he knows that you think his orchestra of people name is terrible.
I've told him we go over this all the time.
This isn't news then. Okay.
But the big thing is Adam does. He does the Soylent Green reference every time. He's like, "It's made of people."
It's people.
And it's awesome. So how are you,
It makes me
Shoshana?
feel like you play your body. It's like an orchestra of people, like voices and.
Oh, of bodies.
like-
Well, that's more of. I guess you're right. That would be what orchestra of people should be.
Yeah, we'll just harmonize and make.
You could maybe patent that and then, but then you'd be stealing it from Casey.
Yeah, I
You don't
definitely
wanna
wouldn't
do
be
that.
able to execute it, so
Yeah.
we'll leave it to Case.
Leave it to Casey.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I love Casey.
This is the very first episode. And
I am
there's
absolutely honored to be your first victim.
I know. Well, yeah, this is great. And you wore white after Labor Day.
I
Just
did.
for
I
the
have
people
no
at home.
feelings about that. I often wear white in winter.
Why did that rule come about? I mean, I think it's kind of dumb. It's
I
arbitrary.
feel like it's an antiquated rule. I feel like it doesn't really apply anymore.
It shouldn't.
Especially we live in California, so none of that applies. I mean,
Right.
And then there's winter white. I just feel like it's a gray area. We are in California with 90-degree heat, and I'm supposed to be. How am I supposed to dress? It's fall, but it's still hot. So this was my compromise.
I think it's great. I
Thank
think you
you.
should keep
Thank
doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So, Shoshana, I know you have an album coming out.
Yes.
You just finished recording. Tell some people about this because you told me about it, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like the kind of album that I would listen, and if I had a turntable, I would get it on vinyl just to hear it over
I can't
and over
believe you
again.
don't have a turntable.
I think I
of
do
all
actually.
people.
I do.
It's
Do
in
I?
a box
I do.
or in pieces.
I have a turntable. We have Rook as our engineer, and he's engineering this session. He's kind of also a fact checker.
He just yelled at us too. What did you say?
I gave you the turntable for Christmas.
Oh, what a bastard!
So there we go. I have a turntable. All right. Moving on from that.
Oh, poor Rook.
I know that's a great gift. That's a great gift. That was a great
An
gift.
appropriate one, yes.
I haven't used it, but yeah.
Yeah, the album's a big band album. It's
Cool.
a full, proper 18-piece big band that we recorded the whole album live in the same room.
That's amazing.
Inspired by it's kind of big band with a twist. So it's
Yeah.
it was inspired by the big band records from Frank Sinatra and some of the Streisand records. Aretha and Ray Charles did some big band albums
Yeah,
as well. So we
sure.
drew from all of those, all of which are huge influences for me as an artist. So it felt right to pay homage to where I came from essentially with them. But then like, our rhythm section, piano, bass, guitar, drums, were not big band players.
Yeah, okay.
They were some of, the players on some of your favorite pop records. And so the rhythm section has a little bit more, the inappropriate way to say it, they just have more balls than a typical big band rhythm section would, which totally lit the horn players up. They were geeked to be able to play, traditional arrangements with a totally non-traditional rhythm section. So the combination just kind of created magic.
I think that it is fun when you get people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I love bringing just awesome instrumentalists that maybe have only done jazz and bringing them into the PMJ context where they get to work with an awesome singer that is maybe in a different genre, or we're doing something that's like a pop song, it's so cool to see them apply their instincts and just like all the years of training that they have to something that's a completely different, area of expertise. I don't know.
I think it just makes the stew like a little more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Unexpected flavors. And people often, these are some of the best, whether it's a jazz player or a big band player in their specific genre, but to take them out, like I just always assume like they don't want to be messed with. They do what they do. But, people love to be stretched and out of their comfort zone.
People like to be challenged. I think that, you must always, because you are always doing something different. I think what I really appreciate about working with you in general is just that you're always up for a different challenge. Like I was like, I texted you. Well, yeah, I texted you. I was like, I'm doing a podcast today. And most people would be like, what does that mean? What are you doing?
I learned not to ask questions with you, Scott, a long time ago. I'm like, just show up, Shoshana, warm your voice up because he's probably going to make you sing. And just make sure
that's
you're
true.
halfway decent in case
I do this thing where I have a singer and we're working on something, and then I just turn on the camera. I'm like, hey, let's do this. I'm going to do a pianogram or whatever.
Yeah.
And just people are like, what? Okay,
yeah,
sure.
See, I've messed with you long enough to know.
Yeah,
always something that you don't expect is going to happen. So,
but you do that with your own creative projects. Like you did something with Morgan recently, right? You did with Morgan James.
Oh yeah, that was Morgan's project. I was very grateful and honored to be involved.
Right.
But yeah, that was her brainchild and her baby from soup to nuts, and she executed it as she does, brilliantly.
Right, and you also, you write as well.
I do. I didn't write much on this new project. There's only 3 originals. The rest are covers. So.
Well, I know you write that, but don't you do like screenplays and stuff?
No,
you don't do that.
No, we have we wrote a musical. A friend of mine and I wrote a musical that has now been adapted for television. But I only write the music. I don't write.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. But still, that's cool. That's like a different world.
Thanks. No, to me it's not. Music is music. Projects, creation, it's all the same to me. Whether it's,
gotcha.
I think the business aspect is different, and obviously the technological execution is different. But
that changes all the time.
To me, what you watched on the computer, is the same as what I do with my record. Like just being bossy, calling shots, telling people how it's gonna go, coming up with following my inspiration. It's all the same.
Following your muse.
Yeah, I've been doing it my whole life.
That's great. So what's the new album called? Do you have a name?
I do. No one knows yet.
Oh, can we not say it?
We can.
Yeah. Okay. This is like breaking news. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that gonna feel weird saying it?
No, it's gonna feel weird to me. I don't think it's like wrong.
Let's do it. This is an amazing moment right now.
Oh God, it's now I'm making it a bigger deal than it is. My pledgers don't even know. Is that bad form?
No, I don't think so.
They're gonna know in a couple days.
We'll tell them right away. Yeah.
It's called Spectrum.
Spectrum. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I built it up like it was gonna be like
like
long, the quest of journey of life from beginning to end. I don't know. Spectrum.
I would get that album too. If you called it that, I would.
You would?
I would be like, wow, there's got to be so much meaning in this. This is such a meaningful title.
No.
So why Spectrum? Is it just, I'd imagine like my untrained answer would be.
Yeah, tell me.
That I guess it's like it's a whole spectrum of moods or influences or, that come together to make one whole Shoshana bean, if you will.
Yeah, I think that whole is probably, I would have called the album whole or complete or like integrity or something to just
integrity. That sounds like I don't know what that sounds like.
I would never.
It's like a tech like one of those like the new operating system integrity or something like that.
I use the word integrity a lot. Like it's important to me because it the meaning of sort of like whole and complete of operating in that way. And I think those would have been the words if you said describe the album in one word. To me, all the different influences from growing up from doing theater to doing my own stuff to people who found me through you guys or through any other collaboration. I think there just always feels like there's somebody who is happy with what I'm delivering, but wanting, like, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that? There's always, and I feel like with this record, there is going to be something for everybody on it, as well as I'm happy with it. I feel like I get to use all of my stylistic influence, every facet of every note in my range, everything is accounted for. I think it's the most complete representation of me. Like I said, if you know, God willing, I'm long gone and someone's like, you should listen to Shoshana Bean. And they say, well, what record should I check out?
This is like the Desert Island.
Shoshana
Bean.
I don't know about
Desert
that.
Island disc.
This
like
would just be the most, so far in my body of work that exists today, like this would be the best representation of all that I'm.
Well, it's such an interesting concept, I think, because when you told me you were doing it with a big band, I was like, wow, that's completely different than anything you've done before.
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool.
But I feel like when you hear it, if you've heard my other records, it won't feel like a departure. It felt like a terrifying departure for me.
Yeah.
To do that. But sonically, it just feels like my second album on steroids, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel like as weird of a departure as it sounds like.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's back it up. Let's go back to you're smiling because you know what I'm going to make you show to the people.
I'm sorry, you guys.
So, tell us a little bit. First of all, tell us how you got interested in music. Like, what was the catalyst? What kind of sprung you into wanting to be a performer?
I think I was raised in a house where music was always playing.
Yeah.
The turntable. My parents just love music. My dad.
Yeah, my parents loved music too.
Yeah, so it was always.
Did they play or did they sing or did they?
No, my mom was a dancer, and my dad. They took piano lessons when he was younger, but he also grew up with parents who constantly played music.
Yeah.
So both of them there was just always music playing and of all styles. So I just feel like it was just already in me because it was already something. I mean, I just gravitated towards singing and dancing and doing all that stuff in the living room before I even knew what it was or meant.
Yeah, I think I was kind of the same way. I think that it doesn't matter. I mean, people always look and be like, well, do you have, what did your parents do? Are they also professional musicians or something? And that happens sometimes, but I don't think it's necessary.
No.
I think that if parents expose their kids to a lot of music, I think that's probably where... And music's fun for kids. Like, there's no kid. I don't think there's any kids that just dislike music or just.
I hope there isn't.
Yeah, but my first album was Michael Jackson's "Bad," and wasn't that great? That was so.
Mine was probably Thriller.
Really? Okay. All right.
The first one that I remember, like.
Well, it shows you how MJ was that big. That
oh man.
There's never going to be an artist like that was.
No.
Nope. Have that many big hits that everybody in the world knew. So. But that's another tangent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were a little kid, and
I just had a lot of energy, dressing up, dancing around, all this stuff. So finally, my mom was like, "We got to put her in something, dance class or a theater troupe," and that was kind of it.
Which was it, theater or was it?
The first thing was dance class. I believe I started tap dance at 3 years old.
Okay.
Because my mom loves to tell the story. I ran up on stage and interrupted my cousin's dance concert before I had been placed in class. Went up on stage, and they were like, "Ah." First of all, how did you let your child out of your hands enough to run to the front? Like, at some point, was there anyone who could grab her and stop her? Apparently not. This is the 70s, 80s, so they were much more loose. And,
there were rules against that now. But
so it started with dance and then theater and then.
So you had a desire you were ready to.
I just wanted to.
You
sing.
wanted the spotlight too.
I just wanted to sing.
Well, it wasn't just that. You also like to perform because.
Oh yes, I was an only child. I loved attention.
Okay.
But what's funny is as soon as I was in a theater production, then I just don't look at me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh really? Okay.
Then sort of the
Was that because the spotlight was already on you?
I don't know what it was. I think back and I'm like, why were you so shy?
Yeah.
When you were demanding the attention at home. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But of course I got over all that. And
sure, yeah. Do you ever get you don't ever get stage fright today, do you?
No, I feel like stage fright is almost like a paralyzing thing. I get nervous. I get excited.
But good nervous. There's good nervous. Like you want to be amped up.
Sure. Like adrenaline type stuff. Never I can't go out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I've ever experienced that. That's that's how I associate stage fright with
That's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to be a performer that has that. I mean, I know a few people that.
I don't know who pushes through that.
Yeah.
You do know people like that?
I mean, there's a few people that are on the more nervous end of the spectrum in terms of.
Oh sure.
Before going on, where they'll be.
Yeah.
Nervous to be on stage and everything.
Yeah.
But I think most people get I don't know, you get maybe good butterflies or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it's just really the anticipation. Once I'm out there, it's like
yeah.
Once I'm out
But
there.
well, they say that. I mean, what the most nerve-wracking thing is public speaking. They say that that's.
I would concur.
I think that that's hard. I think that that's hard.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think
no
well, they
different.
say that I heard somewhere that like there's an evolutionary reason that it's because back in the day, if you were public speaking, you were trying to clear yourself of like a crime. You know, like they
No
would put
way.
it would be like people that would
Yeah.
have to go up and testify in front of their
You're on
community.
trial for your life,
And
yeah.
yeah. So it's like maybe it's a holdover from that. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's
It might be.
interesting.
Maybe
Where'd
people
you
just
read
don't like
that?
to. I don't remember where. So I'm not citing. I'm not doing a good job. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a good at citing my sources.
It's
So,
brilliant. I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Well, it might not be true. So
Damn it.
don't take it too far. But anyway,
don't
going back
repeat
to young Shoshana, there was a clip that you put on your Instagram a while ago, and it was like my favorite Shoshana post ever. And it's you at your birthday party.
Uh-huh.
How old were you?
9. I was turning 9.
It was you at your 9th birthday party, and well, I'll let you give the story. What was happening at your 9th birthday party?
I decided it was a lip sync party.
Yeah.
But the invitation was like, you can lip sync or sing your song, because I obviously was not going to be lip syncing. I was going to be
So
singing.
you're trying to be inclusive.
Yeah, I'm like
okay.
lip syncing or singing.
Yeah.
So you were supposed to bring a song prepared, dress up like the artist that
Mm-hmm.
you were, whoever song you were lip syncing. This was really just an excuse to put on makeup, because obviously at
Mm.
our age we weren't allowed to wear makeup. But if we were performing, we could put on all the makeup we wanted.
I see,
So
okay.
wear makeup, wear a costume, come prepared knowing your song. And then once they got there, the rules were like, you can bring people up to dance with you or be part of your performance, or you don't have to, whatever you want.
This was a lot of. I like that you clarified all these rules ahead of time.
Oh yeah, I was,
That was,
very.
These invitations must have been pretty crazy. They were probably.
Well, a lot of the
It
rules
was like
were
a
given.
3-page manual of stuff.
I don't even remember if it was like a written thing or if it was like a phone call.
Okay,
Do you want to
yeah.
come to my birthday? Here's what we're doing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was written.
So I had Shoshana bring the DVD, and this is really fun. She brought the DVD of her 9th birthday party. 9th birthday. All right, you got it on your laptop? Pull that up. We're gonna show people
I think it's
this
dead,
thing, and maybe you
isn't
can
it?
give a little like director's
It's dead.
commentary.
It's on your phone, isn't it?
Is it? No, you're right. It's
I'm
working.
okay. I've
It's
got
working.
6%. Is everyone ready? A
Yeah.
director's.
Yeah, you're gonna
Commentary.
the narration.
Oh my gosh! Keep talking while I
And
sort this
well,
out.
okay,
You know
I'll
how
let you.
slow it is.
It's slow. She's got a very old computer, and
It's
I
just
think
been
maybe we're gonna
dropped,
start
like-
a GoFundMe for you to get a new computer.
It's
This we're
really
gonna-
not. All the guts have just been like updated. It's just this. It's
Well,
been,
that might be also like that planned obsolescence thing that they do. They do with my phone.
so you have
your
to.
phone's
my
slow.
phone is like.
Goes slow.
But I'm like you. We had this conversation before we started filming. Was like,
Yeah.
I just know what I know and like what I like. Like people are trying to get me to go from iMovie to Final Cut Pro, and I'm like, I know what I know.
Yeah.
Don't make me get a new phone.
Well, I
don't
think that
want
there's a
7.
real value to just sticking with one thing because the time that it takes to learn something new, you could be
Where's
doing.
the time?
Oh, so here we go. All right.
You're
so
welcome, guys.
how can we?
I'll walk up to the.
What do you think, Rook? We're gonna put it up here. And just refocus it. All right.
She's pissed
So you're gonna
off.
talk. You're gonna talk into this mic.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm moving this mic.
All right. I mean, you guys, I worked tirelessly for weeks to choreograph this. What I really wanted to do was sing Whitney Houston, Greatest Love of All. But we had talked.
You just threw the mic. Did you see that? You just threw the mic.
It was in my way. It was in my way. And it wasn't giving me the amplification necessary. I could do that myself. So I wanted to do Greatest Love of All. But I heard that like Kim Penny and also Malika were going to do a Whitney Houston song. So I just assumed it was going to be Greatest Love of All. So I was like, I can't be doing a song that anyone else is doing. So I chose a more obscure tune, which has kind of become my MO. But I chose an Irene Cara song. You've never heard this song in your life. Why me? So I wanted to sing. This is the terrible part. I literally, as a child, thought I was black, wanted to be black. My mom had this makeup in the freezer for summer months because she's really dark skinned. And I was like, if I sing a song by a black woman, I can put on this makeup. Is that terrible? You're like, you shouldn't have said that.
It's all right. We're live. But
Can I do it? It's true.
well-
I did. We didn't know the.
well, you wouldn't. No, when you're a kid, you don't. You
No.
don't. There doesn't seem to be
I
anything.
just
wrong
wanted
with
to
that.
be Whitney Houston. Okay.
yeah.
In every way. Anyway, now I invited my friends up to dance. but not for long.
So look at that. Look at that cartwheel.
Ooh,
look
sex.
at that.
Yes. Now that's enough. You guys can go, because I'm the star of this. So get.
You just pushed. Was that girl that
That
you
was
just
Sarah.
pushed out of the way?
That was
Okay.
Sarah.
I like that you know everybody's name too.
I remember them. Okay, here comes my huge dance break, which really is just 8 counts repeated over and over again. Stolen from the musical The Wiz, which I had just done a couple weeks prior. Yep. Rushing through it. Yeah. Bam.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the best of it, Scott. I don't want to bore the
I
people.
think. Well, that's good. I mean, I think we got the idea. Jesus. But wow.
Only for you would I put myself through this humiliation. You talk trash about my computer. Really, I'm just lazy and I hate change.
So funny is that people don't change.
No.
Like, even how you were as a kid. Like I could see you. I could see you doing that. You're very, when you do a PMJ video first, you know exactly what you want to do, in terms of backup singers and stuff. You're like, okay, we're going to do this. I got this, blah, 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 which is great. It makes it a breeze to work with you because you already know how to execute all those things.
Is that a nice way of saying I'm controlling?
No, well, I mean, yeah, but in a good way. But, you're not hard to work with. You're not.
Oh, good.
You're not, it's very easy to work with you, but you're able to take control of something and just be like, I got this. Like if I put you in charge of something, I know that it's going to get,
Oh, good.
I
appreciate that.
Like when you were out on tour with us, I was like, well, if there's any backup singer problems or something like that, like Shoshana's got it. She'll show everybody the harmonies and she'll make sure that they're perfect and she won't let anybody.
I didn't do that at all, but I'm
Did you?
thrilled that you. No, that was kind of Levance's job.
How was that?
kind of the
We never really
vocal-
even. I don't even think when you got back, I didn't really even get to talk about tour too much with
We
you.
didn't?
Because maybe just very briefly. I think you sound like I was like, oh, how was tour? Blah blah blah. Because I always hear sometimes people are like, it was a life changing thing, and you were like, yeah, I'm good with tour. That was I know that you're not really a tour type of person, right? You don't really like to be on a bus with a ton of people.
I think I did enjoy it. But it was my first experience having done that.
Yeah.
And I think it's different when you're out with I think it's different when you're out with people that are how do I say it? It's different when you're thrown into a group
Right,
of
you're
people
just
as opposed
thrown
to
into-
this is my crew. These are
Right.
the people I chose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My band, my this, my that.
Yeah.
So and because I am a solo artist like that and I'm constantly specifically, strategically choosing the people around me.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was good for me because it was good to see how you have to shift how you're being to be part of a group, that it's not just about I feel this way and I need this right now. It's a team, and I'm not in charge of that team.
Yeah.
But how can I show up to best serve the team? So it was a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. Not only that, I got to see parts of Europe I've never been to and may never return to. I had a great time.
Yeah. I think that is definitely the thing. I mean, I'm like that whenever, I go on the road, I mean, it's intense to be on a bus for a long time. And
That wasn't the worst part.
is-
The worst part for me was the showering and stuff.
Well, that's
the
kind of
worst
rolled
part.
into it, right? That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. The bus experience is they're sleeping on the bus, which actually is not that bad.
The sleeping's
But
the
then
best. It's how do I
It's
pack?
everything else. It's
Because you have to dig
well,
your
you have
own
to,
suitcase
logistically,
out.
it's a nightmare. You
Yeah,
you got to
it
have
is.
a bag that has all your your toothbrush and everything, but you can't put it in your suitcase because that's underneath the bus.
Which you
and
have
then
to
you might
wait
not have
for,
access
dig
to
it.
that.
Oh my God!
So
yeah.
then
now you're
and then
making
you get
me
some.
regret.
You're getting
Yeah.
stressed,
Yeah,
just
I'm
thinking
sweating.
about it.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were. I don't know if you remember, you were packing for the tour, and you came over to our house when we were at Bro Mountain back at my the old place, and everybody was showing you how to pack for it, and there was how to make room, and you were freaking out. You were getting so worked up. You're like, I don't, how do I pack for this? What do I?
Yeah, no.
Will I have this? Do I need this? And I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, Shoshana's gonna hate this. She's gonna hate this experience.
You're but it's funny because I ended up wearing basically the same clothes. I literally just jogged every day
That's
through
tour.
the cities.
That's tour.
Yoga clothes, and then but you were like,
You got
I was
your
like,
show
how many
clothes. You got your
dresses?
sweatpants. That's it. Don't need anything else.
Basically.
That's all you need.
Like 1 or 2 going out outfits if you're feeling frisky, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, just the showers. Sometimes we'd end up in venues with
Well, also you had the European showers, which are
videotaped it.
kind of
I
small.
videotaped
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, let me dig that up.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, if anybody ever has the audacity to call me a diva, I am going to show you that I showered in this freaking.
Well,
it's in here.
this is good because we just showed the birthday party clip.
Yeah. So if
which
you thought
you're
I was a brat and a diva,
clearly a diva in that video.
when would
but,
this have been? Here it is.
Okay. All right. So can we?
Anyone ever has?
Yeah.
in the past or in the future wishes to call me a diva, I would like you to know that I just showered. In this shower, right here.
Stop moving it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
sorry, I
again,
got to
we're
do it
trying-
again because I don't
we
read
got-
sign
this is,
language.
You know.
Past or in the future wishes to call me a diva, I would like you to know that I just showered. In this shower, right here.
Yeah, it was
What was it? I
disgusting.
can't. Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Which
Oh.
where was this in?
Does it say?
I don't know.
I would like you to know that I just showered.
Well, there's a nice shower curtain. It looks
How
like
dare
it's,
you?
Right here.
Oh God. I just get skeeved
That's not.
out
I mean, I've showered in worse. I'm
it
just gonna
should
put
say
that out
where
there.
it was, shouldn't it?
Yeah. We've had some. I remember the very first time that we went to Europe, our very first tour, and we had. First of all, we had this bus. It was this bright yellow bus. It was the cheapest bus. I could only afford the cheapest bus. It was from like 1980 something, and it said the name of the bus company in Comic Sans font, and I'm like, that's a giveaway. That's a major tell. It was yeah.
Comic Sans.
And it was like, well, this is going to be interesting, and sure enough, it was rough. And I remember, I think after our first show, all of us, we had to wait for one shower. It was like, 14 of us with one shower, and it was cold, and it was outside. It was like an outdoor thing, and it was like, wow, this is
Tour life is real,
life,
kids.
it's
and then
real
we
tough,
put on
yeah.
a face and our heels, and we are on stage.
And then people never see the. What'd you say?
It's the same bus that got hit in Germany, and we had to ride with plywood for half the
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
lost
my
a window.
God.
Yeah, somebody hit us. I think it was France actually.
Germany.
They hit a light post or something, and so there was a big hole in the upper deck of the bus. It was pretty crazy.
We had
that was a
bus
tour.
problems. We got pulled over in France and had to give we were there during the whole refugee crisis and stuff, so we had to show passports.
Yeah.
But there were so many, driving over some bridge from, I want to say like Sweden into another country or into Sweden
Yeah.
as the sun was coming up. Like if you sit up front with the driver, I mean, there's just so much magical stuff.
Totally,
happens too,
absolutely.
but-
And then you've done a bunch of things over in UK. I know with your
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
right? What was the last time you did? You
I
did
guess it was a year ago this fall. I did
You
like
did a residency,
stream,
right? Was
yeah,
that it?
in London, and then we did
That's
like
awesome.
Germany, Austria, something like that, like a little mini tour.
That's awesome.
It was fun. Yeah.
Any of the city that you remembered going on that tour, the PMJ tour that you've returned to?
I don't think I had been to Vienna prior to
Cool.
PMJ, then I went again with PMJ, and then I went back again after, but I didn't do any repeats, I don't think.
Yeah.
No,
I bet
I
people
went
would
to
love to have
different
you over
cities.
there.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do any repeats. We didn't do the same cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. But I'm anxious to go back because I feel like a big shot now. Like I know that city and I know where to eat and I know where, like, you know what I mean?
That's kind of fun, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
I
like,
tried to
yeah,
wring those
been
cities
here.
dry. I tried
That's
to
great.
like Google the highlights for each city
Yeah.
like before I would go and then be like, all
See,
right,
I
I'm
was
gonna
like
hit.
the opposite. I'd always be busy. I'd be working at the same time, so I'd be
Yeah.
like in a hotel working, and we'd be in a city. I've been to Paris. I don't know how many times. I've never been to Eiffel Tower or the Louvre or any of those places.
Poor Scott.
I haven't seen any of those things. Sometimes I would go to the city. I'm not proud of this, but I would take like a Google image of one of the landmarks,
Yeah.
and I'd put it on my Instagram, and I'd
You
be like,
did
"It's
tell me
it's
that.
beautiful." Yeah, I know it's terrible, right? But
It's just more than
but I
anything,
felt stupid not seeing any of these things.
it makes me a little sad for you that
Yeah.
people work their lives to be able to go to these places.
Well,
and
honestly, I
see it.
love to work, so
I know. I
it's
don't
like-
see you as a vacationer. Like
don't
I've never
do-
known
I
you to be
don't-
like,
I
guys,
don't handle that well.
I'm in Hawaii for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't handle that well. I'm not good at that.
You don't like quiet, do you?
No, I like to do things.
Yeah.
I like to do stuff.
I hear you.
Why don't we do a song? Let's do a song.
He's like, let's change
Yeah.
the subject because now we're getting into my deep-seated wounds.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What should we do? Let's do something. Let's do something that maybe people have requested you to cover that you never really cover because there's something.
Have they asked you? Because I don't retain that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well,
There's
people
stuff
people
recently.
just want to hear you sing anything. I don't know. What are some songs that maybe you know well that were a big influence on you, or that you used to like
should
to
we
sing?
do a Whitney or a Michael since we've been?
Yeah, why don't we do
speaking
that?
their
We've been
names
talking
for-
about them. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
we've been name dropping them.
Yeah,
We can.
our
Yeah.
homies.
Right. Yeah. All right. What do you want to? Maybe.
I'll
what are
let
some
you.
ones you
I'll
know?
let you do it, and we'll see.
Well, Greatest Love of All.
Of course.
Okay, that was what you wanted to
That
sing
was
at
what
your
I
birthday
wanted
party.
to do at my birthday
All right.
party.
Well, why don't we do that? Let's make your old dreams come true and do
Thank
some
you.
Whitney Houston.
Give them a sense of pride. make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. For a hero, people need someone to look up to. I finally found someone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be, and so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. I found the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me.
Nice. Shoshana Bean, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, that was
amazing.
fun.
That was awesome. That was really fun.
Why have we never done that?
Well, we recorded it with PMJ with Michael Kilgore.
Oh,
We
well,
did,
that's why we've
But
never
we did
done
it
that.
super fast. We did it. It was so. But yeah, that was awesome. He's a lot like you in that he comes up with things so fast. Like,
Oh, he's a
he
genius.
writes,
I am flattered you would say
you
he's
know,
a lot like you.
like backup parts and everything like that. He can just kind of whip it just right, instantly. Like just
Yeah.
come up with an amazing backup singer arrangement of some stuff. Like we did Such Great Heights, and he came up with these awesome backups for that one.
Yes, I had to learn
yeah.
that for the tour.
Oh, that's
yes.
right. Yeah, you did. That's right. Yeah, you had to wait. So you sang backups.
I did sing backups. I also
Was that
did,
your
like,
first time ever?
No. Scott gives me.
I'm just teasing
I'm
you.
not bringing
I'm
that up on
just teasing
camera. No, I sang backup for Michael Jackson and all
That's
those
right.
guys.
Yeah.
Whitney.
So that was all. I mean, that must have been a crazy experience.
Oh, it was amazing. I think I was. I don't want to say I was too young to appreciate it, but I definitely was more interested in like the
Yeah.
I was more starstruck than
How
I
old were
was
you
like
when that-
focused on the gig. 22, 3,
Yeah.
something like that.
Wow.
Old enough to know better, but young enough to still be like not where I was supposed to be. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Okay, so what was the situation? Was it like a gala? Was it like a
Well, I
private
had
concert,
been.
or was it?
Yeah, well, first we did this gig for like a jingle ball type of a situation,
Yeah.
and that MD had hired this group of us from the Broadway Inspirational Voices. He'd pulled a couple people from that, and then so we did the jingle ball, and it was like this was like early 2000s, so it was like Mark Anthony and Ricky Martin and
Yeah.
Destiny's Child was new then, so all these people did that, and that was in December, and then gosh, it was 7, 8, 9 months later when they did Michael's 30th anniversary concert at Madison Square Garden, and they just pulled the same team together.
So this was at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, this
this was
I'm sure
the
it was
one
packed.
that was televised that happened the night before 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So we were all like, this 2-night event, and we're just high as
man.
kites, and just this was the greatest experience of our lives, and all these legends, Ray Charles and Gladys Knight. I mean, everybody was there. And then the next morning, my alarm went off because I had to go back to my office job, the next
Right,
day.
yeah.
And my alarm went off, and they were like, "Please stay indoors. Like, we're urging you to just stay by your phone." Like, and I was
You
like,
weren't
"What
living
is
in the city at
happening?"
this time, were you?
I lived in Astoria, yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. Wow.
And from Astoria, where I lived, I was a little bit up. You could see the entire thing.
Oh,
It was awful. Now that I've brought us all the way down,
Yeah. That's heavy. Wow. I didn't even
but
know
it's just
that
the
was the situation. That's,
juxtaposition of like the
Right.
night before, and then that is
I mean, that's a week. Jeez. Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So, well, going back to, I'd imagine a lot of this stuff came as a result of you. You did Broadway, and you were pretty young when you started on Broadway, right?
I got to New York when I was 22.
Yeah.
And I did an off-Broadway show first. So this was before Hairspray or anything. I did an off-Broadway show.
Oh, so the Michael Jackson thing happened before that. What's that? Buffering?
Buffering.
Okay.
Stop talking.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Is that just like a stream issue?
Are we going on too
Like
long?
Internet speed? Oh, okay. I had it set at kind of like streaming at a...
I can stop the streaming. It's recording.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm... Here, hang on. Sit tight. I'm going to go check this out.
Very worried.
So this is... I don't see where it says buffer. Oh, it's behind. Oh, that's okay. I mean, let's just... We'll do it. I mean, it's still recording, right? So we can... Yeah, we can edit that. We'll make it work. Whoa. So just carry on.
Oh, okay.
As if nothing has happened.
I did
okay.
off-Broadway first.
It's going to be out of sync?
Ah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, all right.
This'll be
So
the
we'll end
extras.
this. We'll end this, and then there'll be the deleted scenes. So
Good night.
we're going to
Yeah.
end this. This is for all the people that are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the very first time that we've done the Scottcast. And Shoshana Bean, you can follow her at shoshanabean.com. You can find her as Showbean on Instagram.
Very good.
Twitter, you're probably also Shoshana Bean.
YouTube, Shoshana Bean.
YouTube, Shoshana Bean. Facebook,
Shoshana
Shoshana Bean.
Bean.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
Instagram's the only.
that's the only outlier in the
Yeah.
bunch. Okay. But, check out her new album. It's going to be coming out. We're working on a new PMJ video, which is going to be awesome. You can also check out, she's done a whole bunch of them. She's done I Want It That Way, which was the very first one we did.
That was our biggest hit.
Big hit. Rockstar. No, Sorry was a big
Poison,
hit, too.
Downer.
Poison was great.
We've only
that's
done
like
three,
that's
huh?
a deep cup. No,
Sorry.
Stone Cold also.
Oh, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Also a
the
flop,
last one
but-
that I filmed in the other house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one, but that was kind of a flop.
I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
Rook was in it. He was breaking down. He was
Oh,
doing the
yeah,
roadie.
Rook, you had a
You did a good job.
feature.
Awesome. Okay, so check out all that stuff. Check out Shoshana. She's awesome. I hope you guys were entertained. And we'll
Thanks,
talk to you
guys.
soon, okay?